first of all, I'm a parent, and I know a lot of you are. And I can understand how, matter of fact, that's the thing, too. Domestic violence is up because of the whole stay at home.
Domestic violence, drinking, casual use of drugs, all that stuff is up.
Right. But what I want to say is.
Read a fucking book, people.
Right. What I want to say is, even though you're dealing with your children at home 24/7, they're not at school or what have you, please don't let your children go out and just be on the park with a bunch of other kids. I've seen that. My wife has seen that in a couple places. This thing is very real. You understand? Socially distance yourself. Like, it'd be one thing if you got 3 kids and they're around each other. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. You're quarantined and at home anyway. But you don't know what these other parents are doing with their kids to let them out on the park and just, hey, let's play tag, let's play two-hand touch and all that. Please don't do that.
Right.
And that's just something as I'm looking out the window that came to my mind. I see the caution.
Selena goes out and she's allowed right in front of the house. She wants to play with the neighbor over there. I'm like, nah, you can just ride your bike. You're good. That's the second time they put caution tape over at the park because legitimately I saw a mom bring her kid over there, pull the caution tape down so that her kid could run around the playground over there. I'm like, what are you doing?
And that's not the only park that's happened at.
No, it's all over. And, like, here's the thing. All these people who have been so cavalier and so, it ain't that bad, is because it ain't hit you yet. Mm-hmm. If someone in their family, if they knew somebody, like, I personally do not know anybody that has said, yo, I tested positive. Mm-hmm. So I don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. Which is a good thing for me. I'm glad. Hey, I hope nobody does test positive. But I think the people that are being cavalier about it don't have any first or even secondhand experience with it. So that's enabling their cavalierness about the whole thing. Well, yeah. I haven't gotten it yet, so whatever.
And I'll take it even further. There's Von Miller, linebacker for the Denver Broncos, just got tested positive for coronavirus. And he said that he was coughing. He went to use an inhaler, and it wasn't working like it usually did. So he went and got tested. He said that he was doing everything he could, every precaution to try not to get it. And he still got it. He believes he got it sitting in his home. Now, I don't know how that happened, but that's what he believes. I can't argue with that.
Right.
So there's a nurse I heard about that was doing everything. Somebody dealing with people with coronavirus, taking every precaution. She got it too. So, I don't want to say it's dumb luck that you get it or you don't get it, but you have to be cautious because this is a very real thing. And listen, I don't know about you, Vanilla Gorilla, but I want to get back to normalcy. You know what I mean? I want to go see a movie in the theater in July.
There was all those movies. Like Wonder Woman was coming out. Black Widow was coming out.
The movie I want to see is that movie Christopher, the guy who did Batman. He has a movie coming out called Tenet with Denzel Washington's son and Robert Pattinson. Now, it's not because they're in it that I want to see it so bad. The preview just looked ridiculous to me. The same guy that did Inception as well. Yeah, he did Inception. So,
what's up, man?
I want to get back to being normal too. I want this.
Everybody does. Nobody wants to be like even me. I realize I work from home, but I wanted to get the Y membership for the summer so me and Selena can go to the pool on my off days, and I want to be able to go to the water park. All that. Like, who doesn't want to get back to like normal?
I want to go to the gun range.
Like, and I'm sure not working was fun for like 1 or 2 days for you guys that aren't working, but it's been weeks now and no paycheck, man. That's gotta suck, man. So I definitely feel for everybody, but yeah, let this shit pass before trying to get everybody just shoved back in, because all it's going to do is cause a resurge of it, and then it's just going to be even longer. So, yeah, I think the cavalierness about opening stuff up is because there's no there's no first or second hand knowledge. Like, say one of Trump's sons had it and was really sick, I guarantee he wouldn't be calling for them to open up the government again.
Right.
Money be damned.
Well, you got to look at it too. Who Trump is? Trump is a businessman. We were talking about this before we went on camera. Trump's a businessman, so he's not going to, now that he's the president, stop thinking on that
Business.
mode. You know what I mean? So his whole thing is money, money, money. Which you can clearly see, because what is his crowning achievement all the time? He talks about the economy, regardless of what he did to it. Okay?
Yeah.
But that's what he talks about all the time. Is that's his one thing in
Right.
his mind. When he goes out, he'll be like, well, what I did for the economy. Whether you agree with that or not, we're not going to get into that.
Right.
But so I'm not
I'll
surprised.
say for the economy was already on an upward trend before he took office. So, yes, it's maintained, but now it has dropped off the deep cliff. And it's not necessarily the money. It is partially, but the economy being bad, there's an election in November.
Right.
So that's more the driving force behind. That's more what's the driving force behind opening everything up, getting the economy back rolling. He doesn't want to be the president that killed the economy, and whether you agree with him or not, I personally don't. I happen to know that he knew about coronavirus way back in December and downplayed it and went and played golf and didn't I don't think that there was a proper response to it. And you can tell that when he talks, because he literally blames everybody from Obama to China to everyone that he can think of, other than, hey, maybe I should have taken some preventative measures before
Mr.
the middle
Matthews,
of February.
how you doing? Good to see you on here.
So, whatever you think, whether you agree with his response or not, it's here now, and it's something we have to deal with and get over, and we can't do that if everybody is just in a rush to get back to
Let
normal.
me ask you a question. Let's say if we don't get out of this in the next couple months or whatever, how they plan
I
May
agree.
15 to open up. Do you think the election could be pushed back?
I think that he could. I mean, it's not that I think he can. He can say that there's a national emergency. He can make a declaration, and postpone the election or whatever. And will he do it? It's a possibility. He is the guy, and I know, we try to stay away from politics, but he is the guy that cried that the election was rigged right up until the time that he won, and then said, look, I told you I could win. So literally the few days right before the election, it's rigged, because he thought he was going to lose. Then as soon as he won, it was the greatest victory ever.
Well,
So-
here's the funny thing. Doesn't pretty much every political candidate say they're going to win anyway?
No, I'm talking about after. He legitimately thought he was going to lose. If you talk to people that were insiders, yes, all the 4th of July stuff got canceled. The fireworks at Old Newcastle just got canceled yesterday, I believe. But yeah, that's something. July might be is pretty far away, and they're canceling stuff. So yeah, I mean, of course.
Except the beach.
Beaches may or may not be open. I don't know.
Well, in Florida.
But you saw what happened. Saw what happened on Jaws when they reopened the beach. It didn't work out very well for people.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just something that we're just going to have to be patient, and it sucks, and it's just unprecedented. It's just literally nothing like this has ever happened in any of our lifetimes. So it's all new.
Something else we were going to talk about were the scams involved with the COVID-19 as well. What's funny is I get emails almost every day about taking out a COVID-19 payday loan.
Payday loan.
I mean, emails, I want to send an email back says stop fucking contacting me. You know, because it's so many of them.
Let me tell you about the ultimate scam. There's a guy that once they announced that stimulus checks were direct deposited, there's a guy who volunteered to do all these people's taxes, did all their taxes, but put his direct deposit information on. So he got all their stimulus.
Wow.
That is the ultimate in savagery. And yeah, like that dude.
I wouldn't even say that's the ultimate.
He did like between 5 and 10 people's taxes and had their stimulus checks all deposited into his account.
The ultimate to me.
So yeah, that's one of them. We're going to talk about that in a second.
The Jim Baker thing. About how he was selling pieces of silver or something to these old people. First of all, and I'm trying not to dig too deep into religion. When you use God's name or whoever's name, whatever your religious association is, to try to get ahead, you're a piece of shit.
Televangelist.
You're an absolute piece of shit. And I mean, you should be, you know, everything that can be thrown at you except the execution.
But you gotta think, Jim Baker has been like literally arrested for fraud before.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know a whole lot about him. But, you know, I know that a lot of older people were subscribing to his BS. You know, and that's even worse because that's the people who are living a lot of times on a very limited budget.
Yep.
You know, so it's just, to me, you should never be allowed to preach again. You know, honestly, I think people should be able to throw stones at you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, be it religion or anything else, just taking advantage of people,
yeah.
Especially the elderly and all that.
But I hate that you do it because when religion comes into play, you start talking about salvation and things of that nature. Jim Baker's a televangelist.
So yeah, they're using people's faith to cash in. Like, what's that guy, Joel Osteen or whatever?
No, not old woman to marry. No.
Millions of dollars from people, millions and millions and millions. I think when they had the hurricane or something down south, wouldn't open up wouldn't open up his ministry as like a shelter, even though it's like that stuff, man. That's just too much, man. But
yeah, I did. Marshall was saying the guy that bought $10,000 worth of toilet paper and tried to get a refund.
Oh no, nobody should be able to. If you
you
ordered stuff and made it so that people had to go without, and you trying to refund it, you should, no refund.
Marshall, he should wipe himself with that toilet paper because he's a piece of shit.
I mean, the only thing you really could do is sell it on eBay. You can probably sell it through Amazon, but you're not going to get paid because Amazon will not allow people to what's it called?
Profiteer?
It's not profiteering. Shoot, I know we took off price gouging. So if you're price gouging stuff on Amazon, there's an alert that pops up, and they literally take your ability to sell stuff on Amazon away. So you're not gonna. You might break out even, but yeah, those people that did that in the beginning.
First of all,
all they did is cause people that otherwise would not have to run out. That's what caused it. So people were running out because they didn't. Like, luckily, like I said, I do monthly shopping. I still have some left over. But along with that, now stores will only allow you to buy one.
You know, but that kind of, if you got $10,000 to spend on toilet paper, you could actually
didn't need
help
it to begin
somebody,
with.
or you could help somebody with that. You know, it's just, people are ridiculous, man. You take a time where people are down and you try to kick on them. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. That, like, profiting from a tragedy. It's kind of like those people that started selling Kobe Bryant shirts right after he died. Like, your profit, it wasn't going to the Mamba Academy. It wasn't going to Vanessa Bryant. People were profiting off of this dude's death. Like that's and his daughter. Like I said, and we talked about this on one of our other podcasts. Like 9 people died in that thing, and you're profiting. Your thought process went to, I'm going to make money off this. Come on, man. That's. I'm an asshole, but man, that's just another level of ridiculousness.
I'll
and
say
it shows
that
what type of people we have.
everybody has done something that's, maybe not on the up and up, but it's certain lines that, for me personally, I just wouldn't cross. You know what I mean? And that's one of them. Profiting off somebody's death is, it's almost like those people that gather around the family members you ain't seen in years. That distant uncle died, and you show up at the funeral and at the will reading, trying to get something. You know what I mean?
Right. Nobody's seen you in 40 years, and now you're here with your hand out. Like, give me money.
All of a sudden you hear you want to direct how things should be happening or what have you.
But yeah, that's what's going on in the world. So everybody just be patient, and we'll get through this. If you can, help people out. If you can't, don't profit off them. That's all you can do. Like, if you can't help somebody out and you're struggling all for yourself, then hopefully somebody is able to help you. But and Mandy mentioned this in the live. Be careful of any of those. I don't know if that Cash App game is real. I don't know if it's a scam. I don't care. I don't gamble to begin with, so I'm not putting $100. I'm not putting $50 up. I'm just not doing it. It may get you $800, but it may also cause all your accounts to get hacked and you lose everything you have. And to me, it's just not worth it. So, I've never bought a scratch off. I don't play the lottery. I went to Vegas and I spent a nickel gambling just to say, hey, I gambled in Vegas. But other than that, nah, I don't give away money.
I'm a little worse than you. When I went to Vegas, I probably spent about $60. But once again, that right there, I'm not a big gambler because I get tight once it start going away. You know
right.
what I mean? So I could literally walk into Vegas and spend $20 and then just go see the shows and everything and go home.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Just be careful. Make sure that you're doing everything to protect yourself physically. Make sure you're protecting yourself financially, and mentally, man. Like we talked about. Everybody wants to go outside. Everybody's doing all this. Read a book, man. I have probably about 8 or 9 books sitting over there by my office that I have not touched yet, and I need to take my own advice and read the books.
Speaking of that, I haven't opened the book you let me borrow.
Oh,
yet.
the 48 Laws of Power. So that's not.
Well, no, that's a lie. I have opened it, but I just pretty much read what the chapters.
So 48 Laws of Power is not necessarily a front to back book.
Right.
It's something. It's a book that you can read. Read Law 15, crush your enemy totally. Go straight to 15. Go back to 3. Go to 6. It doesn't matter. It's not chronological that you need to go from start to finish. Right. So that is one of those books. But yeah, I have a bunch of books. I have anybody that knows me knows I love Star Wars. Just got a Luke Skywalker action figure. Pretty excited about.
Matter of fact, shout out to Fred Mathis. Fred Mathis knows that I like these series of James Patterson books that are based off of the Alex Cross character, which if you ever seen the movie Kiss the Girls or Along Came a Spider, Morgan Freeman played Alex Cross in those movies. The books are way better than the movies in my opinion, and I've read a lot of that series, and I think I had talked to him one time, and he was like, I feel like you're going through a lot of stuff, and he secretly sent me a book in the series I hadn't read. And, I remember I opened it up and I read it like that. So, Fred Mathis, thank you. As we were talking about the books, I thought about that, man. I really appreciated it, and I enjoyed that book.
Yeah, so read books, people. Like, read them. I'm guilty of sitting watching TV all day and all night.
Play video games, too.
Well, I can't talk anymore because I did buy a PlayStation 4. But it is healthier to read a book. I have a bunch of books. Like I have some Zen books. I have a book by David Goggins, which is a really good motivational book. And then, like I said, I have my Star Wars books. So
or learn how to play chess.
Play
I got
chess,
the chess
yeah.
app. It's called. Matter of fact, my phone's right there. One of them's called Chess Live. If you watch the podcast and you download Chess Live, let me know because I will let you add me and we can play chess against each other. I love playing chess. I'm not great at it yet, but I love it.
Whoa.
I'm okay, I would say.
And that would segue into the other part, the TV. We are going to talk about, this is going to be one of my favorite topics. Mark's he's going to hate on this topic.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to hate on it.
Yes, he is. He's going to.
hate on it.
So tonight begins the 10-part documentary on Michael Jordan and the 97-98 season of the Chicago Bulls. Never seen footage, some seen footage. For those of you guys who watch sports, this is the only sports going on right now, so it will be
That's not
highly
100%
viewed.
true. They had, and this was a dream for me. They were showing old boxing matches on
Yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
And they
Tyson
showed
started
the,
at like 5.
Marvin Hagler,
Yep.
Tommy Hearns fight, which was the amazing 3-round fight where they punched each other about 1 million times. They both had each other hurt. Eventually, Marvin Hagler did knock Tommy Hearns out. I appreciated watching it. I remember watching it originally. With
It was
my dad.
on all day. It was they showed Oscar and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oscar and Felix Trinidad.
They showed a bunch of Mike Tyson ones. I remember it was starting at 5. I just forgot to watch it. But
I'm a big
that was
boxing
on.
fan. Big. I would say I'm kind of a boxing historian for that matter. You know,
Yeah.
and I think my knowledge of it kind of ranges because my father was a big boxing fan who got me into boxing because I hated boxing as a kid. But nevertheless, I'm sorry we got kind of off track.